Hello guys, so another quick one for you, and I want to talk about probably a coaching tip that you've heard since you were maybe this high, regardless of whether it is with weight training, whether it is in sports or whatever, and something that you probably see plastered all over the internet, alright? And that is, your knees should not go over your toes, and I want to tell you that is nonsense, okay? Now, that isn't to say that if you experience pretty decent levels of pain when your knees go over your toes, don't do it. Then it would be bad for you, but that's the same as saying if it hurts when you kick yourself in the shin, don't kick yourself in the shin. Alright? If it causes you pain, like genuine pain, don't do it. But from a perspective of our body's mechanics, there is no reason as to why our knees shouldn't go over our toes, and I'm going to tell you a few reasons why, or a few examples where it may actually even be beneficial for us. Alright, now knees over the toes happens all the time. Okay, now if you watch me do a lunge, okay, or you watch me do a squat, you'll notice my knees go over my toes. So I do a lunge, okay, my knee goes over my toe. Okay, I do a lunge, my knee will go over my toe, okay, and that's normal. If I do a squat here, okay, and I'm just going to do it with body weight, so just bear with me. If I do a squat, my knee is now over my toe, okay? Okay? Now, some of you, your knees won't go over your toes when you squat, and our own body and our own mechanics plays a massive part in that, okay? That can be to do with our hip, alright? So me as a taller person, my hips are quite, they like to track outwards, okay? So for me, my most comfortable squat stance is here with my toes outwards. So naturally, my knees are not going to track as far forwards as some people, okay? Yours may be different. You may prefer and find this, where your feet track forwards, is more comfortable, and your knees may go further over your toes. And if that is the most comfortable position for you, there's no problem with that. The only thing you want to be aware of is if you are squatting, we don't want situations whereby in an attempt to get your knees over your toes, you come onto your toes, okay? Because if you're doing that with weight on your back and you go here, you're a little bit off balance. If you're doing something deliberate like a sissy squat or something of that nature, like this, then knees over the toes onto your toes is more deliberate, okay? Now, when it comes to why this is a bit of a myth, right, there's a lot of studies that show that knees over the toes doesn't cause any damage, okay? It doesn't cause any long-term impact, and for a lot of situations it can be really beneficial for us. So if you look at the NFL, the National Football League in America, some of the best ever, well, the 3 ever best recorded jumps in their combine where they test athleticism, the 3 highest jumps, if you watch them, all 3 of the jumpers, all 3 of the athletes, their knees track over their toes as they go up to jump. That's a natural position for athleticism. Sorry, I've got an intruder here. Can you not? The culprit. Causing distraction, aren't you? You muppet. So when it comes to athleticism, knees over the toes is absolutely normal. It doesn't cause them any issues. It doesn't. Evie, get out of there. Doesn't cause any discomfort or anything like that, and there's nothing to say that you shouldn't do it, okay? And I think it's a perfectly normal mechanical situation for our bodies, okay? We can train it, and I train it, okay? I like to train my knees after having multiple knee surgeries. Before I started going knees over my toes, and I was always told to keep my knees back, okay? So you can do things like just kind of rocking lunges, so your foot is kind of planted, and you rock forward so your knee goes over your toe and back. There's lots of ways that you can train this, alright? But the bottom line is, not allowing your knee to go over your toe is a fitness myth. And if your knee does go over your toe and it doesn't cause you any pain or discomfort, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be doing it, okay? And I have to just end by saying that is different to an anterior shift, where when you're doing lunges, if you plant too hard and shift all your weight forwards very, very abruptly, okay, that will probably cause you a little bit of discomfort. But when it comes to your knee tracking over your toe, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. If you want to talk about it further, guys, if you want a little bit more of a conversation, more information, you know where I am, shoot me a message, and I'll speak to you all soon.